All right, guys, welcome back to the Philadelphia Union Podcast. I'm Zero. Thank you for joining me. And there's some big news that's kind of happened recently out of the Philadelphia Union camp here, and that's the trading of Keegan Rosenberry to the Colorado Rapids for allocation money. Now, this is a bit of a shock to me. I don't know if anybody else could see into this, but Keegan was our starting right back for predominantly for a couple seasons now, and he was there last season. One of our really important contributors to the team last season. One of the main reasons why we had made a playoff game last season was because of him on the team. I thought he was our best defender last season. He's very strong, solid. Was decent going forward. Even scored a cracker of a goal. So, this was a big shock to me for him to go to Colorado. I don't like the move. I mean, I'm going to try and trust that Ernst Tanner knows what he's doing and he has a good replacement in mind. But I don't get the move. Even if we re-sign Ray Gaddis, I still think Keegan is a better player at that position. I want Gaddis to re-sign, but I'd rather have him stay more as a kind of a rotation player, not necessarily a starter. So Keegan Rosenberry is gone, and it's very weird because I figured he was going to be on the Union for a long time. He's played the first 3 seasons of his career with us. One of my favorite players on the team. Just shocking. I don't know. This franchise just continues to do things sometimes that you kind of shake your head at. So it's a little frustrating, but we have to hope that they have a good replacement in mind because we did sign another homegrown player, Matt Freese, as you can see right here on the right. Let me click on that. Matt Freese is a homegrown player, so it's just a backup keeper, really. I don't think he's really going to see the field this season unless like Andre Blake gets injured. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to sign another keeper as well, as like a more predominant backup, but Freese could be our goalie of the future eventually. So he's young, so he's only 20 years old. Another youngster coming in. I'm fine with this, but it's not exactly anything that's going to contribute right now. Going back to the Rosenberry thing, I just wanted to touch on Matt Freese signing, but it's frustrating because there was no need to really get rid of him. I mean, they're getting this allocation money, and what are they going to get with it? Like, they have to have something in mind, I would think, to get rid of one of your best players. We've lost a couple of our best players from last season now. Rosenberry's gone. Dutchkel is gone. He's not coming back. So that's 2 huge players for us are just gone. And we've also lost Fabian Herbers is gone, and Raymond Gaddis could be gone too, for all we know. Jay Simpson is gone. And so far all we've gained is Sergio Santos, who we talked about in the last podcast, and Matt Freese here. So we'll get a look at the roster here. So, right now, as it stands, we're obviously very short on players because they're still going to fill in the roster. Let me have a sip of the tea there. But, so you can see here, Brendan Aronson, he's a homegrown player. As it stands right now, we need David Accam to come back from his injury and just have an MVP-like season like he had with Chicago a few years ago, because he obviously was a big disappointment for us. He was a huge signing, and he just did not perform for us last season, so we really need him to show up this season. Re-signing Fabinho and Craval, like I said, I'm not super excited about that. I don't even know why. But and Corey Burke, who was a bit of a revelation last season as a forward, hopefully as of right now, he's still our starting striker. I don't see Sergio Santos starting over him because Burke proved that he can score goals. So I think, is he the main guy we're going to need up there? I don't know. I think he deserves to be our starting striker for now and just see what he could do. Ilsinho, Fontana is a homegrown. Jack Elliott's only 23. Freese, Jones, all homegrown players. I still think Jones should start. Mbaizo, he could play right back now. I'm thinking, are they going to give him a shot at that right back position? He's young. He's only 21. If they were really high on him, maybe that's why they traded Rosenberry, to bring in money to get somebody else at another position. I don't know. I'm thinking they have somebody else in mind for that right back position. So, of course, McKenzie, who should be one of our starting center backs, he's another homegrown. Pico, Matt Rials. We just have a lot of young, unproven players. Really, that's predominantly what our roster is homegrown, young, unproven players. Even players like Jack Elliott and Santos is young too. He's only 24. Sapong, relatively young, I guess. Players like Bedoya, Medunjanin, Fabinho, they're getting up there in age, 33 or whatever. It's those are the veterans that we have. Austin Trusty, CJ Sapong. I just don't know if he should be starting on the side midfield. That's not really, we need more production over there. Pico was brilliant. He's been brilliant for us, so we need somebody to flank him on the opposite flank that can give us good production too. Can't just be Pico. Obviously, we got to fill the shoes of Duchkel, whether that's Fontana here or whether that it will be another new signing. Akam, you would think, would be the other. He should be playing up front with Burke, I think, but I'm just going off based on Jim Curtin's his strategy, his tactics. So, I don't know. Obviously, they're still going to make some signings, I hope. I think they're going to bring in another keeper. I'm pretty sure they're going to have to sign some kind of right back or whatever. Definitely need an attacking mid. We need another side mid. Could use another striker. It depends. Sergio Santos looks like he could be good, but, it's not like he's a world-renowned player or anything. He's just he's kind of like a potential signing. Signing that has potential, anyways. Bedoya was brilliant last season. So hopefully he can continue his form up this season. We're into January, guys. The season's not far away. It's 2 months away. 2 months and it starts back up. It's crazy. MLS has a very quick off season because the season ends in December, starts back up in the first week of March. They'll be playing preseason games before we know it. It's insane. I love it because, there's not much downtime, so you can, especially the disappointments of last season, we can kind of just wash those away and hope for a better start. The Uni need to start off well this season. Yeah, their offense needs to start off much better, that's for sure. But I'm, like I said, just shocked about the Rosenberry trade and, Dutch Cal going. It leaves us with some holes there in the starting lineup. Are they really going to play all these young kids and just try and develop them? I'm fine with developing young players. Like I said, I'm all for it. I think it'd be great if we can keep growing our own talents and playing, but we need to sign established players too. You can't just rely on the young players. That's not even fair to them. It's not fair to the fans. It's we need to sign more established players, put a little bit more money into shopping here. I realized they brought in David Akam last season. Brought in Dutch Cal, but Akam was a bust. Dutch Cal's gone. He was alone. Now they trade Rosenberry. It's I don't know. I'm going to trust Ernst Tanner knows what he's doing. He's got something up his sleeve, I want to see some of these younger kids play more. I'd like to see Matthew Real play more. I'd like to see Fontana play more. Derek Jones, who I think should be starting. I'm not even kidding. I know I've talked about it in earlier podcasts, like Derek Jones. I really think he gives us a good balance in the midfield with Bedoya. I really want him to be starting. I think he's a very good player. McKenzie has really impressed me, and Trusty who has as well. Trusty obviously had his ups and downs this season. There's no doubt about it, but he's going to get better. That was really just his first year coming in. So, Trusty and McKenzie are going to grow as a partnership there in the back. And they've both been called up to the U.S. team. So, we'll get a look at them in a U.S. uniform, hopefully, which is awesome to see some of our young players getting up there. Rosenberry was actually called into the U.S. national team as well, who I've been wanting to go up on the team for years now. Since he was a rookie, I wanted him up on the U.S. team, but, it's a shame because now he's on Colorado. We could have said we had 3 players on the U.S. team, but now we're just 2. I mean, it's still great for him. I mean, I'm glad he's on there, but he's a Colorado player now. These are just some articles here, guys. I mean, trying to give you guys something a look at in case you want to watch the video, but if you just listen, maybe have it on the background or whatever. That's basically what this is for. I don't know. This is just in case you are watching the video. I'll give you a little something to look at while you listen to me ramble on. So, yeah, Matt Friesen and Sergio Santos in. That's about it. I mean, I needed to do a new podcast just to talk about the Rosenberry trade and my thoughts on it. And if you guys have any thoughts on it, please leave a comment. I'd like to know what you think of it, because it's a bit of a shock to me. As of right now, I don't like it. Obviously, I can't like it until I see a really good sign. They need to bring in somebody who's going to be just as good or better than him to really impress me. So we'll see who they sign, or if they're just going to go with Mbaizo over there. They're still probably negotiating with Raymond Gaddis, but I don't think if he starts at that right back, I think he's a bit of a downgrade from Rosenberry. I mean, no offense to Gaddis, I love Gaddis, but he's not as solid of a player to me as Rosenberry is. Rosenberry, I think, is definitely better going forward too. I mean, Gaddis has good speed though. And he works his tail off, but I don't know what else to talk about right now. I've talked on the points I wanted to for this one. Obviously, our home opener is going to be against Toronto, and that's right there. Saturday, March 10th. There, the full schedule hasn't been released yet, but there we go. I think that's our opening game right there. So then we travel to Kansas City in our away game in our next game. So that's 2 tough games right off the bat. Toronto, who struggled last season, but they still have a lot of talent. They're going to they have a point to prove this season that their championship a couple seasons ago was no fluke. They still going to have Altidore, Giovinco, and all those guys. So it's going to be a tricky home opener. The Union got to bring it, and then going to Kansas City, who are always a tough team, especially in their stadium there. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about those 2 opening games because those are clubs that are more established than we are. Most clubs are more established than we are, but they're not easy teams to play, and they're teams we generally struggle against. So it's a little nerve-wracking that we could get off to a bad start, but we'll see who we bring in, though. We'll see who we bring in. It's all, in the next month and a half will tell us a lot about what the roster is going to be, because they're still very short on players, because right now our bench is predominantly just young players. We have a lot of homegrown players, probably more than any team, it seems like. And like I said, I'm fine with building up the young players, but you can't rely on it. And they're not going to develop that well if all we're doing is losing and not even winning anything. So, you got to bring him along right. I think Jones is ready to start. I think McKenzie and Trusty is a good center back pairing. I think Fontana deserves some more time to see what he can do. I think Matthew Real could perhaps get some starts over at left back. And I don't know if Brendan Aronson's going to play at all. I don't expect Freese to play. But who knows? Who knows? So, if anything else big happens, I'll do another podcast soon. Because obviously, soon after I did the last podcast, I think is when the Rosenberry trade happened, and I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do one about that. So, thank you all so much for listening. Hope you enjoy these podcasts, and if you're a Philadelphia Union fan, definitely leave a comment in there. I'd like to connect with some more Union fans. I know we're not like a big, prestigious international club or anything like that, but I'd like to build up a little bit more of an audience for the team if I can. And if you guys don't know much about the team, you're looking for a team to follow in MLS, well, please do join the Philadelphia Union family, and you can come and give me your thoughts on what you think of the team. But yeah, we'll be doing another one of these in due time. And again, thank you everybody for listening, and please do join me again. So until next time, 0 is the number.